Hello, greetings everyone. Allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Juvens Natanael.
Greetings everyone, my name is Joseph Timothy Abraham. In this video, we want to explain about our new research on modified contribution to the Empirics of economic growth. In the measure of economic development, economic growth has become a key focus by researching factors that can contribute to said growth. Based on the paper written by Mankiw, we strive to update the findings on economic growth by using more current data in the research process. Furthermore, the literature used the first from Mankiw, Romer, and Well in 1992 entitled A Contribution to the Empirics of Economic Growth.
The second from Philho Silva Indinis in 2005 entitled The Empirical of the Slow Growth Model Long-Term Evidence. This research used the ordinary least square equation to determine the correlation between economic annual growth and a country's contribution wealth. In this research, here is our 5 equation models in our regression. This dataset includes annual growth of GDP per labor, investment per GDP, labor growth plus depreciation, school and initial GDP per labor.
We obtain this data from the World Development Index and PAN World Table.
We use the range of years from 1991 to 2019 for our paper. Our sample includes countries from APEC, upper middle income, and sub-Saharan African. In this study, analyze MRW tables 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to see whether the data we have and update follow the theory. Based on estimation table 2, there are significant measures of human capital observed in APEC, sub-Saharan African, and the world sample, where 2 of them are significantly negative, while the sub-Saharan African sample is significantly positive. The upper middle income sample also shows no significant negative results for human capital. The results of investment in population growth were significant for all samples, except for upper middle income. The final observation, named log and price depreciations, shows insignificant results except for upper middle income and sub-Saharan African. And by analyzing table 2 regressions, the regression can be concluded the constant variables shows that significant positive results from all samples. Through the data obtained from estimation table 3, it can be seen that all measured data show significantly negative results. Moreover, in the world samples that shows the measurement of significant negative samples, which is quite large compared to other samples. This certainly shows the tendency of convergence in the world sample.
Table 4 shows negative significant sample at the log initial level. At the level of investment in population growth, all data also show positive significance. Log labor growth plus depreciation shows negative significance for the world sample, but not for the other samples, with insignificant result in the APEC samples. The sample is not significantly positive on the upper middle income and sub-Saharan African. By analyzing table 5 regression, the observation of log initial years shows that all sample measures are significantly negative. Log investment per GDP observation for the world sample, APEC, and sub-Saharan African shows a significantly positive sample, in contrast to the upper middle income sample, which is not significant. After that, the log labor growth and post depreciation observation for the world sample shows a negative significant sample, and sub-Saharan African shows a positive significant sample. Meanwhile, the APEC sample shows an insignificant negative sample, and the upper middle income shows insignificant positive sample. In the last observation, log schooling years, all samples show a significantly positive sample. By analyzing table 6 regression, log initial year shows that all the samples are negative significance. The observation of log investment per GDP minus log labor growth plus depreciation shows us that positive significancy except for the upper middle income that comes out with the same figure. The final observation, log schooling year minus log labor growth plus depreciation, which shows negative sample but with different significancy, starting from the world sample showing negative significancy, then the APEC sample which shows a negative significancy for the upper middle income sample show a negative significance, and the sub-Saharan African also show a negative significance.
To conclude our entire paper, the theory and augmented solid growth model continue to be consistent when used by Mankiw, the main setting of the paper. However, there are some discrepancies in the measurement results depicted by the augmented solid growth model on our attempt to renew the data. The augmented solid growth model helps us look at a more big picture of an economical environment's growth. The result of our paper indicates the solo model remains in line and consistent with the international evidence if we realize the fertility of human as well as with physical capital.